What could be holding your strength back? The skill. Welcome back to Elite Movement Systems. Today we're going to be discussing skill acquisition and how we can master skill to increase our strength. When it comes to any sport that you do, football, Olympic weightlifting, tennis, basketball, powerlifting, whatever you do, there is always a skill component. So we have two types of skill. We have fine motor skills and we have gross motor skills. Now fine motor skills are things like darts, where it's very precise, but when it comes to like powerlifting, strength training, most of the time we are looking at the gross motor skill. But what makes a gross motor skill? For me, a gross motor skill is a multi-joint action. If you can fine-tune them, you will get stronger. Main thing about bench, deadlift and squat is that because they are gross motor skills and they use multi-joint actions, it's about timing, force and balance. In any skill that we do, if you have played any sport before, you know that there's a high cognitive demand when it comes to learning the skill for the first time. I had this when I was learning how to handstand. You're constantly thinking about it all the time. You can't just do it. At the start of learning the skill, we have a high cognitive demand where we're thinking about everything. We're thinking about where, for the bench press, where to put our elbows. We're thinking about making sure our back's nice and stable. We're thinking about stacking our wrists. We're thinking about the actual movement, where it's hitting on the chest. When it's on the chest, what muscles do we contract to lift it back up? All these things play a part in learning a skill. So neural adaptations normally happen before muscular adaptations. If we don't know how to do the movement properly, we're not recruiting the muscle fibers that we should be. We have muscle there, we just need to utilize it better. Neural adaptations will be far greater before your muscular adaptations. And when you have improved motor unit recruitment, you will use the muscles that you should be using. You will get stronger. When we are learning the skill, why is it that we can't do the skill at first? Not only is it a cognitive issue, but these are a couple of other things that could be playing a part in your psyche on why you're not getting stronger. Threat perception. So when you're putting a bar on your back and you've never done it before and you're going down, you might be a little bit wary. And this could be a fight or flight response. A bar on your back with a lot of weight on it to start with, you will go into fight or flight mode. Your body will have a perception that it's in danger. You have to be intentional with your lifting, and the only way you're going to get better at doing the thing that you want to be doing in the skill is repetition and time. And I said in my last video, practice makes excellence. Just practice the skill, and then eventually you will go from the cognitive stage to the associative stage. There are three stages of learning. There's the cognitive phase, the associative phase and the autonomous phase. But as you're a beginner, we are now in the cognitive phase and we need to try and move ourselves into the associative phase. Now this will take time and effort and skill acquisition and learning the skill, but you will get there eventually. And we're going to do an example of Olympic weightlifting. Now I'm not an Olympic weightlifter. I've tried a few power cleans before, a few snatches, but I've never been technically good at Olympic weightlifting. Now let's look at how I lift compared to a lifter who has been doing it for a while. So the key characteristics for me when I see myself learning and trying this skill, we're going to use a snatch and a power clean for the examples. You can see on my videos that I am making a very conscious effort. I'm thinking really hard about how to do it, and I'm not just doing it because I'm not in that stage of learning yet. And when I do the movements, I'm really inconsistent and inefficient. They're just slow, and it's like I'm thinking about it too much. Again, with the high cognitive demand, and my errors rates are really high. Don't get discouraged when you're in this phase because it happens with everybody. Nobody just walks into the gym and can learn how to snatch and power clean. If you keep going, keep doing the skill, you redefine the skill, you're going to get better. We don't want to say that, oh, just because you can do the movements that you are in the autonomous phase, it doesn't really work like that. But the key characteristics of the associative phase would be just refining the movement. You focus on how to execute the skill better and making small adjustments to your form, your timing, your coordination. You start to connect cues with other cues to be better at that skill, and you're gonna see less errors. You've learned the movement, and now it's just about being consistent with your movement. Obviously, like I said, you're still gonna have some errors, but the lift will become smoother and better. You can go from the cognitive stage to the associative stage. This might take a while, so eventually you will get to the associative phase. To quicken up that process, here are a couple of tips. Variations. So if we cannot squat, for example, we'll put either regress it to a front squat. If we can't do that, regress it to a kettlebell squat, and to learn the movement patterns properly. When you're competent at doing the movement patterns, you will then go to, like, if you're starting on a kettlebell, you'll start a front squat, and then you'll go to a high bar squat or back or a low bar squat, whatever you feel more comfortable with. So in psychology, there is a term called chunking. We chunk the movements up into smaller pieces and focusing on one piece at a time by learning certain aspects of the skill. For example, when you do a squat, you chunk it up by thinking, okay, initiate the squat by putting your hips back, and you just repeat that until it's done. And then another cue could be tight back, find a balance in your foot, and you just chunk it like that, and eventually you'll do the whole movement pattern. Eventually it'll just become ingrained in you, and all these cues become a natural occurrence. A great way we can learn is by demonstrating. If you've got someone demonstrating the movement, you can learn and process the movement and try and do it again. And again, this is where getting a coach is really good, because you can get instant feedback as well. So they will show you how to do the movement, you do the movement, and they'll give you instant feedback, and it'll quicken up the process from going from one phase to another. And by looking at videos, looking at your form, and a coach going through it with you, that will just help you build more cognitive knowledge. You want to try and minimize as many distractions as you can. Focus on one element at a time. Remember when I was talking about high cognitive demand? If you're focusing on too many things, by focusing on honing in on one aspect of the skill is going to be the most important thing for you. And if you want that feedback, you can go to my website at www.elitemovementsystems.com, drop me an email, and we can see what we can do to help. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe. See you later.